Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Billy G, life coaching in the house again. Billy Giannouloudis joining us here, and he's here to help you, inspire you, make you your best you. And for those of you on the podcast, we're also live on Zoom. For those of you watching, hello. Welcome to the show, Billy. How are you?
I appreciate being here. I'm doing good. As I said, another great week happening right now, but I appreciate it. I'm happy to spread the word right now.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it. What's the word? Tell me about your week. It sounds exciting.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like every week has, it's got those positive moments, it's got the down moments, whatever it may be, but I think we're going strong to this week, helping a lot of people, but bringing a lot to people. And I think that's one of the key things I want to bring into today's podcast is just different ways, different activities, interventions that help people on the spot that they can do, whether they're driving right now, listening, whether they're on the radio right now, at home, sitting down, whatever it is. But why not spread the word and bring some help right now?
Great. And for those of you listening out there, tell us a little bit about what you do, your contact information.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? I'm Billy Giannouloudis. I am a life coach and motivational speaker out of Boston, Massachusetts. But we have spread to where we're helping people throughout the country and even out in Canada just as much, helping people truly achieve that next level for themselves. Whether it's improvement with the mindset, the body aspect, or even the soul piece, we're bringing the trifecta together to help you move forward with your goals. And it is a blast every single moment.
Awesome. And for today, I apologize, but I didn't see any specific notes for you unless they didn't send. Did you send something?
That's okay. I got stuff. They must not have sent it to you, but I'm totally fine with running with it. Yeah.
Run with it. What is our area of focus? I let them know ahead of time, but I'm waiting to hear from the station. So I haven't yet. So tell me, you always put together a little nice compact notes. So we make sure we talk about something in particular. And also don't forget to touch upon your Sunday's topic as well.
Yep, definitely. That's in there too. But yeah, one of the things I want to put together today is actually focusing on healing relationships.
Okay.
And because we always talk on, I guess you could say, individualistic aspects for self-improvement. But as much as we're trying to improve ourselves, that in turn can improve other people around us. Or people come into coaching sessions. I do a lot of work with families as a whole, but also relationships where people are trying to improve that area. And that's popped up recently. So I was like, all right, let's bring it to the Podcast Business News Network to help whoever's listening in that sense. So I love to open the line up for callers in case this sparks anyone, because I know you mentioned that a couple of times ago, and I love that when people just call in. But
absolutely.
Yeah, right. So with this healing relationship aspect, it popped up in a session the other day. And as much as we're trying to grow self-improvement, like I said, that impacts everyone around us. And there's one area that I think, whether masculine, feminine, however we move about our energy and whatnot, no matter who you are, there's different approaches to how we communicate to people. And we always hear with improving relationships that communication is key. Phenomenal. That is 100% true. However, there's so many different forms of communication. It's not just words anymore. It is everything under the sun, whether how you come off, your mannerisms, how you might say something, but then your actions after are all a form of communication. So in our session the other day with one of our clients, he's been growing phenomenal. He's living on cloud nine. He's loving it, but he knows that an area that he wants to improve is the relationship with his wife. All right, let's dive into it. Let's step into it. And there's something that always kept popping up in our sessions whenever this improvement area came up was, all right, so I sit there and I talk to her and I think, all right, we have the plan set. We know what our strategy is. After we do this, everything's going to be great. Everything's going to be right. And I think anyone that either is in a relationship, has been in a relationship, or wants to be in a relationship knows this area, right? Because I think we all go through it. Right? But the aspect that popped up is that's a masculine way to go about this. Is all right, we have a plan. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. We're going to execute it, and then we have our victory. That's that in place. However, since that was always the route of communication, that was always the strategy used throughout the years. And right now you're realizing that, hey, as much as we use this all the time, why isn't that joy still there? It's not that the love is gone. It's just the feeling. It's different. And over relationships, the feeling does change. But no matter what, how do you help a relationship improve? How do you save a relationship for that matter? You go back to how it was in the beginning. And what you did in the beginning was spontaneity. You just
had exactly.
Right. You
And
had
if you don't
fun.
mind, I just have to plug my phone. It has an
Yeah.
issue going on and off. And so if it's not charging, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Do your thing. We're gonna keep running with it.
Go for
But
it.
right. So the spontaneity aspect of it is you have fun again. But if you continue to do the same strategy over and over again, you're gonna realize it
Ooh,
stopped working.
sorry. Mm-hmm.
So as much as the masculine way is to approach things, all right, I'm gonna execute this plan, you have to realize that for in this specific situation, husband and wife, your wife might not be able to continue to execute that plan with the level of energy that you're putting into it. So what we did is we took a step back. You
Yep.
can't just mention it. You can't just talk about, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. You're going to do X, Y, and Z, and then we have a result. That goes over a lot of people's head over time. So you need to begin to take a step back and realize, all right, don't just talk about what you need to do. Show it by doing it.
Okay.
Show by doing, not telling or planning. And we spent an entire session creating this entire approach because it's new for people. However, when you're a husband, you go to your wife and you don't just talk the talk, but you're
You're
showing it,
doing the, yep. Yep.
right? You start to improve these other areas because it's not just you vocalizing what you need to do, it's you showing it. And that causes the other person in your relationship to then start to take action like, oh, I like this. This is fun. That in itself brings the love back together, heals relationships, and relieves the friction that's between two people. So that was what a main piece I want to bring today is anyone listening right now, don't just think out a plan and talk to someone about it and like, all right, if we do this, it's going to happen. Yes, you're taking action, but why not have fun with it? Take the communication piece out of it and then bring the spontaneity piece back to it and then just do it and see how your relationship, your lover, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is, notices that and responds to that, because that brings joy back to relationship, brings energy back to relationship, brings the love back. It starts the love for that matter. Why not take that step?
Look, I had an ex-boyfriend, and it was the same thing. After 6 months, he felt that we lost, and we stayed together for 4 years.
Mhm.
But he was honest, and he's like, I crave that newness, that whatever. And so that we broke up, and I couldn't explain to him. I'm like, I've been in how many relationships, and so were you. It's like the newness is always going to wear off. I mean,
Mhm.
it does. Yes, that passion, that attraction, that yes, but if you're with someone who you love and you make it work, you can revive those things. And
Yeah.
he decided not to and moved on. And it was just a shame because, well, maybe not, because then he got his girlfriend, the one after me, pregnant right away. So they had no choice but to get married. So,
Gotcha.
but I guarantee he's there saying, spontaneity is over. Oh my gosh, I have my daughter. I'm wonderful, but like I haven't talked to him. But I'm just saying, he
Yeah.
always had that problem, and at least he was honest about it. But it's true in a lot of relationships. So, key ways of trying to make it like it was before. Give us some more tips on how we could do that.
Of course, of course. I always say that when two people come together, no matter how that relationship starts, there are key signs to why you're attracted to someone. Whether I can look at past relationships I've been in where that when you go out on a first date, I think a guy's perspective for that first date is all right, it needs to have energy. There needs to be something there to bring fun, joy to the aspect. All right, so that's there. But then over time in a relationship, yes, you might be with this person that you started dating.
Yeah.
However, if you continue to do the same thing over and over again, it gets stale. Whether that's a relationship, if that's a workout and someone's connecting this to a gym aspect, you can't keep doing the same workout day in and day out for years, or you don't get a result.
Yeah.
But taking the coaching perspective into it, if we help people get results in this entire profession, you need to start changing things up, because that's the only way. One, we step out of our comfort zone, which brings results.
Yeah.
So if you stepped out of your comfort zone to get someone to go on a date, to start a relationship, whatever it is, you need to see the fact that, all right, I need to bring variety to this relationship to make sure it continues to grow, because any individual can only grow with variety in their life. Taking that into a bigger aspect, family, relationship, whatever it is, that's how you keep life fun. That's how you keep a fire, a spark in a relationship or life in general, is to keep changing things up, or life in itself gets stale. And then to even expand on that, you think about an individual listening to this, solo, single, whatever you want to call it, or just someone going about life on their own. why do we get in a more mental health aspect? Why do we become depressed at times? Because life has gotten the same thoughts, the same actions, the same days, the same environment, the same. There's so much certainty that I know how my day is going to go. So eventually our energy starts to decline. Our thoughts get lower. We become depressed. All right. Changing that up in some regards, even if that's you going for a drive to get out of the house, different scenery, different approach,
Yeah.
you see a different part of life.
Yeah.
Healing relationships, relieving friction can only come through either going back to the aspects of the beginning of changing things up, bringing variety, bringing the love, showing the fire, rather than just, it's a Friday. We're going to do what we always do. We go to the bar down the street. We're going to go to a movie, same thing over and over again. But if we want life to continue to improve, we have to make sure we take the staleness out of life by bringing variety back to life.
Yeah. All right. Well, also, again, unfortunately, I can't open your notes. I got them emailed to me, but the computer is not dealing with the attachment.
Okay.
So I'm over here trying to use the keyboard. I'm like, I never have to go on the computer, but that's why I'm a little this way, just to let you know,
That's
because
okay.
the phone's down and out. So I'm going to ask you to continue, please.
Yeah.
So,
Keep
thank
running
you.
with it. I'll take the whole thing and keep it going. But I guess going into the next piece, you mentioned earlier our YouTube video from this past Sunday. And again, this came from a coaching session, but I thought it would be so cool to explain this intervention or this activity to people listening right now on how they can continue to, one, move forward, but two, keep I guess we just talked about sparks in relationships, but sparks in yourself. And one of our clients came to session. He's been killing it. He's been pushing himself to keep trying to move forward in his business. He's in real estate. He's flipping houses. He's trying to do all these things. But he always comes to session and goes, I just don't have time for myself. And even when I get time for myself or I get a win in real estate, it's fleeting. It's a fleeting moment. I don't experience the joy that we're supposed to. So in the moment, we literally created this entire invention. That's what I love about being a coach and a speaker, is because everything's on the spot. That's why when that one time we had someone call in and with a question, I do my best work on the spot because someone needs it in the moment. Everything fires away. So in this session, bringing it up, rather than me bringing an old intervention to people so I got trained by Tony Robbins. He gave a list of interventions that we learned in the moment. However, everyone's different. You never know what you're going to do. So on the spot, we created this, what I call is create your own victory book. And the purpose of this victory book is you in the moment, or at least 5 minutes a day, are spending 5 minutes and you're figuring out what was a victory that you had in the day. What was a victory you had in your past? And what is a victory that you will have, not that, I hope it happens, you will have in the future.
Positive reinforcement. Love it.
Right? So what we do and what we did in this session is you grab a piece of paper or you grab a journal or a diary, whatever it is, you grab a journal and you write the date at the top of that page. So today would be August 3rd. And then you divide that page into 3 slots and from top to bottom. Top spot, past. You label it past and you write down what is one victory you had in your past. And so on and so forth. You write it, whatever it is, small, big, extreme, whatever it is. Next, you go to today. Okay, I recommend doing this before you go to bed, but what is a victory you had today? Whether it's something as small as I woke up, because for a lot of people, that could be the only victory that we have. Or you did something that you've never done before, something you've been working towards, a goal you finally stepped in. You went up and talked to that person. You went up and did the job interview, whatever it is. Write that victory down for that day. And then, like I said, a future piece, the final piece of this is you write down a victory you will have. And what this does in the moment is it brings you back to the moment to realize, okay, life is going somewhere. I'm feeling good. It's not just a go, go, go mentality anymore. I can actually realize, oh my goodness, I've come so far because in my past, I did this. Today, I did this. Future, I know where I'm going. So in a stressful work environment, whether you're an entrepreneur listening right now, whether you're someone that's just working, the typical corporation aspect, whatever it may be under the sun, you need to understand the go-go mentality, the stressful lifestyle, that can only go so far before it starts to beat you down. And we realize in those moments that when it becomes like that, our stress gets so high
Oh
that
gosh.
these moments of joy that we should be present for, that we should experience and truly feel the fullness of life for, the joy that brings with it. We realize if we're in that go-go mentality,
Yeah.
on to the next thing. I got a victory. Like my client, he sold a house, and within 20 minutes on to the next thing. He didn't even get to experience, I just won. I had a victory. So this entire intervention brings you back to the moment every single day to show you you are exactly where you need to be. You're moving forward to where you're meant to be, and life is actually getting better and better. So it's your own victory book. And so we designed this on the spot in the session, and it was like an
Wow.
aha moment. But that's what I love to bring to sessions with anyone listening right now. If you're thinking about stepping onto a call or whatever it is, in the moment, we help you and meet you where you're at. And I think that's the best thing
That's
about being a
also,
coach and speaker. We meet you where you're at, and then we help you and guide you steps of the way. So you get to the level, you get to the top of the mountain you're reaching to. And at that point, you have all the tools in place to make sure life is going exactly. You have the tools to make sure no matter what pops up on that mountain and that climb, you have the skills necessary to make sure you're always feeling good and moving forward. I love it.
awesome. And by the way, let's just remind everyone how we can reach out to you. And if you do have any questions, the lines are open 631-317-1291, 631-317-1291. How can we reach out to you?
Yeah, guys, go to billygLifeCoaching.com, and on that spot, you're going to see you can set up a free call with me. You get directly sent to my schedule, and you pick what works for you. You see what spots we have open. So if your schedule's, I don't get out of work until 6 o'clock or so. Well, wait a second, Bill's got times open until 7 to 8 o'clock at night. Let's go for it. Go to billygLifeCoaching.com. You'll see that there. But then also, if you're on Instagram, go to @BillyGiannouloudis, and you're going to see all of our motivational posts, but you're also going to see all the other aspects and resources we bring to people. And then YouTube, once a week with Billy G. Every single Sunday, we're posting a new message. We actually talked about the victory book on this past Sunday. So if you need more information on it, go check it out, right? And then please subscribe to that. We'll get that number up and keep spreading the word to more people. And then if you're on Facebook, type in Billy Giannouloudis or Billy G Life Coaching, and you're going to find me. I'm right there.
Awesome. Love talking to you. And also, what's the YouTube channel under? Is it Billy G Life Coaching?
Once a week with Billy G, but if you type in Billy G Life Coaching, you'll see the videos pop up just as much.
All right, great. What else do you have in store for us today?
Yeah, I mean, there's coaching client experience. I know I talked about some, but there's been another aspect that I've been actually diving into in my personal time that I think just brings strength to people.
Okay.
And so as much as I've been personally studying this to make sure I'm improving in my own way, because regardless of coach, speaker, whoever you are in the world, no matter what level you get to, you always need to keep growing. So I sit there, I'm like, all right, if we all are individual, we're all improving in our own way, we're all different in our own way, we all have our own strengths, and we all have our own weaknesses.
True.
And the purpose of self-improvement and personal development, self-growth, no matter what we're doing, if that's the end result for all of us, how then do I take the strengths that I have to strengthen the weaknesses that I have? And I'm sitting there, and this comes to me in the gym, so it's crazy where my mind goes when the intensity is so high. But if you think about it, say someone listening right now, one of their weaknesses is they are anxious. The confidence isn't too high or whatever it is. But like I'll use myself as the example. When I'm in the gym, it's not that I step into a different version of who I am. Like it's still Billy G.
You're right in the zone. I'm sorry, but you're in a zone.
No, exactly. You go into the zone. It's a different version of who you are.
Okay.
And in that version of who you are, no matter what you're focused on, your confidence is on a high. Especially like I push the weight in there. I'm trying to grow in different ways when I'm in the gym. So I need to be in a certain mentality. So if my confidence is on a high level to push the weight in the gym, and then I leave the gym and I go to a coaching session, I go to wherever it is, a meeting, whatever it is under the sun. But say I have anxiety in this area. What is stopping me from taking the strength that I had in the morning and then using it in that mentality to improve the weakness that I have over here? If I step into whatever caused me anxiety with the confidence that I have, okay, I just became confident in my weakness. So my weakness begins to get strengthened. And eventually, the more you can step into and understand that you have different mentalities with everything you do, whether you're sitting on the couch at home, enjoying yourself on a Saturday, whatever it is, that's a different version of you where you can finally relax. We need that. Then you go into the grocery store, but you don't like to be around people. Sometimes that, like a lot, I think that's becoming more and more in the world since COVID was a thing, where people don't like to necessarily have social events. But
True. True.
right, say you go into a grocery store and like, oh, I have to see everyone. I don't know if I can do this. But then you realize that, okay, wait a second, Saturday, I just relaxed. How can I get back to that relaxation mentality in the grocery store? And that's just us using all areas of our life to then improve the step that we're taking. At the end of the day, whether you're a coach saying this or a coach helping someone, or a speaker explain this to people, we're all just meant to move about life in our own way. But why not improve all the areas, whether it's mind, body, or soul, or just personal development in whatever way you look at it?
Mm-hmm.
Why not live at a high level in every section of your life to make sure life just gets better and better and better, no matter what step you take? I love it. So our strengths can strengthen our weaknesses when we take the step back to realize, okay, what is my weakness and how can the strengths that I personally have improve these areas? And that's us using every tool that we have at our own disposal for our own benefit. It's not just us having to go to someone. It's not just us having to go to the library and picking up a book. Like, all right, how can I improve this area?
True.
You
Yeah.
have tools at your disposal to do it. I think that's the beauty of how individualistic every single one of us is. Yet we can all come together and help each other, like this podcast is doing for everyone listening. They're gaining something from it to make sure when they leave or they turn the radio off, they go about their day and they're improving with whatever they learned in their own way. Individualistic self-improvement. And I think that's the best thing we can do for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, let me just ask you about, here's the summer. We're all feeling good. Even a relationship, I feel like the spring comes and relationship wise, everyone's happy, get to go out and feel the air and stuff. And then like you get this gloom, like
Yep.
fall down to winter. Do you find a lot of people with more relationship issues in the colder months?
Oh yeah, especially up here in Boston, when it's cold and it's like 0 degrees in the winter, no one's happy. But then, whether that's a relationship issue or personal aspect too, it's when the cold sets in, there's a lot like, it's called seasonal depression in the therapy aspect. And I don't want to say that's what a lot of people go through, but when the season changes for all of us, I believe that mentally, bodily, spiritually, whatever you want to call it, also changes too. So these skills we talk about, yes, they can be used in the winter, whether it's a relationship or whatever. However, it's understanding that, okay, in the fall, it's kind of like I feel good in a relationship, we're doing good. But in the winter, most people aren't happy because of the environment they're in.
Yeah.
It's freezing out, especially where I am. It's freezing. So I would understand in a relationship, other people, whoever you're with, they might not be the happiest going to meet you wherever you are and it's 0 degrees outside or it's snowing.
Yeah.
And but that's where we need to be stronger in our own, where I'm not going to let the outside environment affect the internal, which then affects my relationships with the people around me. So with me as an example, if I am internally, I guess you could say growing, I'm strong in that aspect, why would I let the cold affect my personality or the relationships around me? Why would I let it affect that good energy? Why can't I be my happy-go-lucky self that I am in the summer? Summer's fun. The energy's high for everyone. And that, I think that's incredible. But why should we allow it to change when the leaves fall off the trees or when the snow starts to fall? And right, it's powerful. And I think, there's a couple different speakers. I know Zig Ziglar explained this way back when, and then Jim Rohn also explained it just as much. But in the seasons, you think about it, you got spring where the flowers are blooming. If you can kind of go deeper with that, a lot of us, our energy rises. We're happier when the spring comes, the sun's out, we're blooming just as much. And if you look at that in a personal aspect, whether you're an entrepreneur listening to this or whatever it is, you're going to see that your business or your personal life has spring moments where you're blooming and everything's moving forward. You're having summer moments where it's cruising and everything's going great. You're going to have fall moments where things are starting to change. And do I feel good? What is it? What is it? I don't know. Then you have winter moments where it just feels like there's a massive drought. Like, what the heck happened? It's cold on every level. And then spring always comes again. No matter where we are in the world, yes, some areas don't experience the 4 seasons, but when you understand that the 4 seasons, as much as that's how our environment operates, it's also how the internal operates too. Everyone's on a different journey, whether it's a relationship aspect, whether it's a personal aspect. You will have spring moments. You'll have summer moments where life is on high and you're just experiencing the warmth and the goodness and the love that's there. Fall will come, winter will come, but you got to know spring is always right around the corner. And that's the
Absolutely.
beauty, right?
Perfect. Yep. I agree. You're right. And as far as if someone wants to reach out to you for any coaching, I can't believe we're out of time already. I'm so sorry. What else did you want to share?
No worries. Yeah, I can just go over again where people can find me. Guys, go to BillyGLifeCoaching.com. You can set up a free call with me. You can even see what we're offering for speaking opportunities just as much. I know this is the Podcast Business Network. If you're an entrepreneur and you have your business or you have a team under you, we love to come in and present you guys with hands-on self-improvement aspects to make sure you and your entire team are moving forward at the highest level, to make sure when everyone steps into that workplace, the mindset is key, and you are going to see the results in that business, whether it's a financial breakthrough or whatever it is. But when your team is improving, it can only mean success in all areas.
In every area. Yep.
Right? Go to BillyGLifeCoaching.com, guys, and you can set up a call with me on that or on a life coaching individual basis. Go to Instagram at Billy Giannouloudis, guys, and then YouTube once a week with Billy G. Look at all of our videos, Facebook, my name, Billy G Life Coaching. You're good to go with that. But guys, reach out. I hope these podcasts are improving someone out there. I know we have people call in and they take it hands-on, but anyone listening, something sparks you. That is your sign to take a step in that direction. Right. I think that's what guides us every step of the way.
Thank you so much. You have a great day, Billy. And to all of our listeners and viewers, we'll be right back with more. And hopefully next week, my email will be up and running. Thank you.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.